Welcome to the Yes to Life show. My name is Samuel and today we are making our own sunflower seed butter. Let's get started. Why do we make butter with sunflower seeds? Well, here in Germany they are sort of locally grown, and that's why they are way cheaper than almost all the other nuts and seeds that you can find. And it actually has an incredibly delicious flavor. So instead of going for peanut butter or almond butter, why don't you just go for sunflower seed butter the next time? The problem is that many times you don't find it at the store. In Germany you have to go to the organic supermarkets most of the time, and even there they often don't have them. So you find the regular peanut butter, tons of it, almond butter of course, but for some reason sunflower seed butter is almost never there. That's why today you learn how to do it. Now, the first step, which I've already done before this, is you actually take the sunflower seeds and you toast them in the oven. And that's super simple. All you have to do is you put the oven to 180 degrees Celsius, that is, which is 350 degrees Fahrenheit. You let the oven heat up. Then you add the sunflower seeds on a tray and you leave them in there for around 10 to 15 minutes until you sort of see that they turn slightly brown. Because once they sort of burn, they actually develop this very bitter flavor, which isn't that nice. So you want them just to be slightly toasted. Now right here I have 2 cups of toasted sunflower seeds, and the process is super simple, but it will require a little bit of patience on your end. Because what you have to do now is you have to add it to a food processor or blender and then blend it. As dry as they are right now, you don't have to add any oil or any water or anything else. We will add a little bit of salt just to bring out the flavor overall, but that's it. The only thing is that the blending process, depending on the blender or the food processor that you use, actually takes a bit of time. And sometimes you might think it's not going anywhere. Don't worry, just keep on blending and at some point you will arrive at the right consistency. That's why it's always useful to have a spatula at hand, because the nuts, they will sort of go up the sides of the blender and then you can scrape them down again and continue blending. Okay, let's do it. So as I said, all I have to do is add the sunflower seeds. And then we add a pinch of salt. Don't add too much because otherwise it will be too salty. And you can always add more salt later. Now, as I said, this will take some time. Make sure to scrape down the sides and continue doing it until you find the right consistency. So now it has been the first minute of blending, and as you can see, it's kind of like very crumbly, almost as if you would, I don't know, use it for the base of a cake or something like that. At that point, as I said, you have to continue blending it, because at some point, for some reason which I don't fully understand, it will actually become sort of oily and all of the small chunks will dissolve even further, and then you will have this sort of cream. Now it has been 2 minutes and you see that it starts to get stickier actually. Still very crumbly, but what happens as soon as it gets stickier, the sunflower seeds will sort of go up at the sides, and that's when you take the spatula and just make sure to scrape it down again. And then you continue doing that until you have your nut butter. So now it has been like 4.5 minutes, and what I can see if I look inside, that at the bottom it's already very creamy, but then again the sides, because they're pushed up, they don't get moved around so much, so that's why you scrape them down and then continue doing what you've been doing. And this might depend on the blender that you have. It might take longer, it might go faster. It's really up to the equipment that you use. So you might have to scrape it down more frequently towards the end, because then it does get stickier. And at the bottom you already have the nut butter, but just the top parts you still need to blend better. So it seems like we're there. If you can look inside, there's no sunflower seeds anywhere anymore, but it actually is very creamy And there's still tiny chunks, so it has a little bit of texture. You could continue the whole blending process and scraping it down for another 1 or 2 minutes, and that way you would get it smoother. But I like it that way, actually. It's very nice. And the smell is fantastic. It really smells like toasted sunflower seed butter. Exactly like the one you get in the store. That's amazing. So now all you have to do is you take a dough scraper, see that? And then you add it to your bowl or your glass. If you keep it in the fridge, you can probably keep it for up to a week. Just make sure that it's still good. Keep it in an airtight jar. And that's how you make sunflower seed butter. And I would advise you, I've just used 2 cups. If you do it yourself, maybe go for 4 cups right away, maybe even 6, so you have a larger batch depending on how much you're actually going to eat. If you have a family and everybody likes to eat sunflower seed butter in the morning, then it does make sense to prepare more, just to save some time. For me, for instance, it makes more sense to prepare 2 cups right now. So don't forget to check out our videos coming up where we use sunflower seed butter to make a very delicious chocolate mousse dessert. I hope you liked it. If you did, please leave a like and a comment down below, and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more videos like this in the future.